everyone. Welcome to the 18th episode of Tuesdays with Tobe. My name is Tobe Frierson, and I'm excited to be back here with you again today with another topic that I hope will encourage you, will spur you on, will ultimately lead you to think about things a little bit differently, and then perhaps make some adjustments if needed. If you missed last week's episode, we talked about the golden rule. Yeah, that golden rule, the whole idea of doing unto others as you would have them do unto you. I thought it would be super timely given the level of sheer and utter violence that we're seeing in our communities and in our nation. As individuals, we aren't really going to be able to affect change on a major scale, but we sure can take care of the person in front of us, behind us, on our right, and on our left. And that's pretty much what I tried to encourage everyone to do last week. So thank you for your comments about that. And if you didn't get a chance to see Golden Rule, please bounce back and check it out. This topic may be a little hard to digest because many of us are struggling with the same thing. Many of us are trying to figure out who we are. And I know if you're middle-aged like me, I'm supposed to have life figured out by now, right? Well, no, that's not the case at all. Life is extremely complicated, and all of us were dealt a different hand of cards to play with. Some of us wanted to put our cards back in the deck and have a fresh start, but that's not how life works. Our parents are our parents. We can't give them back. That's not how it works. Our siblings are our siblings. Sorry, Marlo, you're stuck with me. We can't give those back. Also, our skin tone is our skin tone. Our height is our height. These are things that we have to deal with. There are physical attributes, genetic constructs, and experiences that we've all been handed. Those are the cards that we have to play with in this game called life. We cannot throw them back in. We cannot pick up a fresh deck. So my topic for today is, no one can be you. So what are you waiting on to show up? Before we get started, it's time to say our family rules. Read with me. During Tuesdays with Tobe, we will use kind words. Do your best. Always be honest. Forgive and forget. Be happy. Count your blessings. Laugh at yourself. Stay positive and love one another. If you think back to childhood, I bet you can remember a time where you played make-believe. You got into some sort of character, perhaps changed your voice, or put on a costume, and you essentially became someone other than who you actually were. It's extremely normal in a child's development to go off into some far, far fantasy land and to use their imaginations to create all sorts of things. What's not normal, and honestly, forgive me for using that word. I know we have to be careful when we talk about normal and abnormal. So let me use another word. Perhaps what's not helpful or what's not healthy is to kind of sort of have an idea of who we are. We kind of know what we're good at. We know what makes us happy, but we never put those things on display because for some reason we can't accept who we are. So we hide it. We shy away from it. And we present some other version of ourselves that's inauthentic, thus leading us into unintentional deception. Please hear me clearly. I personally think all of us have been in this place at some point in our own growth and development. So I'm not singling anybody out here, but I'm bringing this message to beg you to understand that you have been fearfully and wonderfully made. There's not a single mistake about your background, your journey, your life's experiences. I believe all of who you are is intentional. And I personally want all of us to get to a place in life where at the risk of living our best lives, we are willing to show up in spaces as our authentic selves. That you are willing to embrace the fact that no one can be you. And if no one can be you, then when I call for you, when it's time for you to get the job, when it's time for you to sign the business deal, when it's time for you to travel around the world with all these speaking engagements, we need you to show up. Please do yourself and the rest of us a favor today. Fire your representative. Whoever it is that you've deployed to live your life for you, to drive your cars, to be married to your spouse, to raise your children, to run your office, fire them. And then I need you to spend some deep time with yourself so you can show up and claim your rightful place in your own life. I know this is a weird message today, but a lot of us are dealing with it. I know this is super tough to hear today because many of us didn't know that we'd actually deployed someone to show up on our behalf. We have. So many of us have. So where should you start? You all know I love lists. If you've been listening for the last 17 weeks, every other week or so, I'm prompting you to create lists. Well, this week is no different. Get out that pen and that paper or that tablet and let's get to work. The prompt is simple, but pretty complex and revealing too. We need 2 columns today on our paper. So if you're writing or if you're typing, 2 columns. The first one, who am I? So if you guys were to ask me those questions, I would start telling you about myself. So go ahead and write down who you are right now. The next column, who do people think I am? You should be able to write plenty of things in column number 1. But if you don't legitimately know who people think you are, let's ask them. Pick 3 people in your phone. So open up your text messages and send them this text message. I'm doing my weekly assignment for Tuesdays with Tobe. Then they're going to write back and say, Tuesdays with Tobe, what's that? And I need you to send them this YouTube link so they can become a subscriber. But in all seriousness, please say this. I'm doing my weekly assignment for Tuesdays with Tobe, and I need you to tell me 10 things that you know about me. Leave it that broad. Don't let them ask any qualifying questions and just see what comes back at you. So you're asking 3 people in your phone. So you're going to have 3 different lists. You'll have 30 things. Hopefully there'll be a lot of overlap. But ask them to tell you 10 things that they know about you. Then once you get all of your responses from your text messages, compare column 1, what you wrote about yourself, to the responses in column 2, which you'll have 30 responses if you do this correctly. And then let's circle all the items that are the same. Let's circle them. This exercise is actually not going to confirm whether it's actually you showing up or your representative. That's a little bit too hard for us to do in this context. I'm going to have to let you do that work. But the exercise will tell you whether or not you're showing up the way you think you're showing up. Remember, it was my recommendation that you fire your representative immediately. I mean, today, pack the bags, pink slip and all, get that person out of here. The world needs you. We need you. We need all of your experiences, all of your talents, all of your gifts. They are there and we need them to come to the forefront. Let's not shy away anymore. Let's not be afraid of the bumps and the bruises that we've gotten in life. Let's not be afraid of that hand we are dealt. We all have a story. We all have a journey. It's unique to us. And today, let's make the decision that we need to bring our full selves forward because you can only be you. Thank you again for listening. I hope you like, share, and subscribe. I'll see you back here Tuesday. And remember, no one can be you, and this world needs you.